Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. How did I get into this mess?
That's far enough. You can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What have I done wrong?
I cannot allow you to go on like this.
But I'm just a simple defense attorney.
Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title.
Well, that really surprised me when I had that again. I had this dream before, someplace some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. In the previous episode, man, it's been a couple of weeks since we played this game. March 23rd. What day is this? Yo, we're so close to it. We're close to it. God damn it. Once this video gets uploaded, yo, it is. I'm recording it on March 21st, but once I upload this, it'll be on 23rd. Jesus Christ. Not even bad. I should do it exactly at the same time. In the previous episode, we finished the second investigation of my Pharaoh Turnabout. Today's episode, we're going to begin part 1 of many of the trials of my Pharaoh Turnabout on the final one. If you haven't seen the episode, make sure to hit that like button. Spoilers greatly appreciate the channel. As it's been a while since I've done it, but it's just cause Legend of Zelda came in, blah blah, and the Nintendo Switch came in, so I was on hiatus with Phoenix Wright, and I needed a break from Phoenix Wright because it was just too much voice acting back to back. So it's good to be back. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer, remember, it's not just me your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict too.
Now listen up, you better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime back on not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever!
Maya. Phoenix? Phoenix? Mia! Maya, how's Maya?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday.
Mia, what am I supposed to do?
Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles.
But
you can't give up. There's still some hope left.
Stop it, please! There's nothing left! Not here, not anywhere. It's that accursed Unguard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it.
You're really mean, pal.
Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you?
They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal.
Then you have some sort of lead?
Sorry, but right now we got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not going to give up.
Gumshoe.
Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down. We're going to do everything we can to find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get Engard the guilty verdict, if he deserves, pal.
That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first.
You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer.
I have to make the trial last longer?
If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two could draw it out.
Oh, now I get it.
I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're going to give it all we've got, just like you.
Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe.
Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance.
Yeah! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through. I know it. To be honest, I have no idea how long this video will go, but hey, we'll see what's up.
Order is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Adrian, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard.
Excuse me.
And then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those of which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she's guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, one quarter was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. Commonplace.
I know what's going on in this time. So I know that everything Edward has said is true.
But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound.
I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please.
Fred voice.
Okay, I'm, Will Powers.
I think it's like this.
I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry, well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes.
I didn't know that.
But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer to what you ask. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you entered Mr. Ungard's room. Okay, sure.
Visit to Matt's room.
After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in the front of the room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone at first. I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me.
And there's a few things I want to press on.
Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
And talking with the bellboy is no big deal.
If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we?
Looks like we're in another sticky situation.
Huh?
A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge head first, right?
Oh, great. We don't have that set up, but okay. After the awards, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there. Okay, why did you want to go there? The defendant's room? Why did you go there?
Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I want to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright?
What is it?
You're going to try to trick me into a corner, aren't you?
Huh?
I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer.
No one said you were, Mr. Powers.
No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into a bad guy.
Every time?
Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. For now, please kindly cooperate. Continue with your testimony. Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room and then...
Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here?
Matt was sitting there in front of his room, still. That is the truth. At first? What do you mean by that?
Well, he was a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry.
I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. All I have to do is press on for it, aren't I? You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
How is that weird? A tip? Well, that's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So how long did you watch the two of them? Oh, not more than a minute or two, I think.
So who are these guests you're talking about?
You guys, of course. You and my little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press forward.
Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night?
I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her.
I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long.
Okay, let's press on the other one. Are you sure that was Matt Ungard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the Nickel Samurai mask then.
If that's the case, then he really kept me mistaken.
What was the defendant doing in front of his room?
What do I press? Fourth statement. Now press the third statement. What the heck? Now press on the third statement. 1, 2, 3. Again. Am I pressing B or not? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago, you stated... Oh, it's just the order of events. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right?
Okay, the bellboy gave a tip. I mean, Matt gave the tip to the bellboy. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that?
Oh, well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip was really shocked me.
How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. I don't know, sounds like both. What was so shocking in the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers?
Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old Gramps. I hope you know that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court. No, that's not what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches. A line of stitches? Yeah, and it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chin. Almost like if the thread snapped or the stuff in his head would come spilling out.
He was there at Ungard's house. He was the butler.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. So that means Ungard was talking with the killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, Ungard would be declared guilty in a blink. Yeah, Chief.
You sure you don't have something you'd like to say, Mr. Wright?
What do you just say, Your Honor?
Nothing, Mr. Wright, nothing. We're just going around and around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony.
Oh, what the heck? Defendant is a huge star. He can't afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
A little too much?
Would you please clarify for the court? About how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash?
Well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? Right, fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called tip, Your Honor.
The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him.
Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply breaking people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting?
He's got a point. I don't even gotta pay. I get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corda? Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't have any proof on this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley the killer? I is the person the police special investigation has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think just figured out something. Oh? Actually, I saw the bellboy again later on that night.
What?
Mr. Powers, please testify what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away.
Second time.
This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corda's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean
what?
Thank you very much. That's all we need to know for now. But I'm not done yet. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see. When the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and if the bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Knight, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh.
Ha ha ha! This is no laughing matter.
Got it, Chief. The second time. This time I was in the hallway because I had to go to use the restroom. And that's when the bellboy I saw came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean one corridor's room. Now that I think about it, the bellboy did seem kinda out of place. So what exactly was so out of place about him?
Right. What do you insipid grit?
Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next.
Well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You called that a little strange too, weren't you? I read that as a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers just slide, or... Let's try it. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy.
But it really is, really.
There really isn't.
If you two are dog-bang school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness' previous statement be supplemented with this new one.
Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
I see, very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution request. If you can amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir.
So you're saying it's suspicious for him to come out empty-handed?
Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and wine glass on it.
Juice? What kind of juice was it?
I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice.
If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why you come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we could dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? It's like another job for the court record. In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us.
But he really is the assassin, you know?
Yes, but you can't give in yet. If you want to prolong this trial for as long as possible, you're going to have to pull out some cheap tricks on this one.
Let's check out the court record. Let's refresh our mind what we have. Not that. Not that. Found next to the victim, filled with her fingerprints. I guess you could say the crime photo. Crime photo? What? Yeah, present on the statement. Yeah. It has to be that one. Objection! Mr. Powers.
Yes?
You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it might be true.
But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and...
So, a baseball has stitches? Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches?
Well, that's also, I mean, about him being empty-handed.
I would like to ask the court to please take a look here.
This is the crime scene.
There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corrida's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you will look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corrida's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
But that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Corrida was already dead at that time?
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? I blame you for leading me down to this route. I'm terribly sorry.
What is with him? Why is he laughing?
Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot it.
Huh? What?
The bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention this earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, got to focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Come on, Mr. Wright. The bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather?
By that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. I'd say that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
The rest?
Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay.
Their second meeting. That should be the last one.
Yep. After leaving one's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going to the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Why the last one?
So the bellboy, leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident.
Some accident? I say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we?
Yes, Your Honor. After leaving court, the boy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. I said hold it!
Okay.
That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time. I've asked about this something. He gave something to this person.
Yeah.
And what was this something?
Huh. If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't even call it something, would I? And this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. This is a incredibly crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk about another point. Namely, what did the bellboy do next? Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing, then the old guy just left without even going to the room.
Where did the bellboy go after he left Mr. Ungar's room?
He opened the door to the Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right?
I do. Something small, right? Because the person in the room has to be Adrian Andrews, right? It has to be. It has to be Adrian Andrews because the Nickel Samurai was asleep. So who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm?
And you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There he handed a small item of sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Is all this really important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Price, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir.
A wooden statue? I don't even know what that is. Do we have anything that's a wooden statue? A teddy bear? No, that was in the freaking room. Credit card. This ain't no wooden statue I ever seen. What was the freaking statue? Let's press on that because I have no idea what that is. A statue?
Yeah, it's kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing, I'd probably remember, you know.
Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix.
Well, Miss Wright, let's continue with your testimony.
I want to make a guess that it had to be the freaking... It would have to be... I want to make a guess right now. Because if it's a statue... He handed the person something with an arm. A wooden bear-shaped figurine. It's covered with cuts, many thin, whatever. I don't understand this, but okay.
What was the point of the pregnant pause? Where did the objection come from? Well, speak up.
It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw was this item.
Oh, hey, that's it. That's a something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figure it out. I recall we found this at Matt Ongart's mansion. At the defendant's house.
So...
What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Surely the killer assassinated Moncorda in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Ongart's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Ongart is the killer's client. Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mia.
Sorry, Mia.
It's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Andrew would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too.
I think it's clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. It has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, A minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored.
What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable part would you like to explore further?
The person who received the bear? There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. One of us the other way around. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of.
Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remember who took the bear.
What?
Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but... the arm. It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it.
You gotta be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count.
So the person who took in the little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we know, Matt Unger is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, we made it all that clearer.
What am I supposed to do now, Mia? Help!
You don't have time to act lost. You got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry!
Yeah, I will bring this cross-examination to...
Your Honor!
Again, Mr. Wright. We've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright.
We have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered.
What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright. What is it?
What? Again with this? I want to say it's the person who received the bear again. Right? Oh, what the heck? Hearing this, the judge is called a bear. No. First, ask about who the person received the bear. You're back to the question. Time to ask the bear itself. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
Bear?
This was fun. Ungard's mansion. However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he was not had a chance to go home.
Oh?
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to the mansion.
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Phew. Disaster averted. Yet again.
You haven't gotten to the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion.
What did we do? Can't believe it. The butler. All this time, he was the killer.
The killer and Ungard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Ungard's mansion as its butler. What? A bold move. A bear figurine was brought back to Ungard mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Ungard had him to do so. I assume it because it would have been bad had the police found out during the investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I think we heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion. as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Matt Ungard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you?
I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edward has stated is the truth.
Oh no.
There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick.
Your Honor,
right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at the Ungard mansion. However, it's possible this is all work of a certain other person.
what are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
A real client?
Yes.
Test. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer?
Profile?
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt Unger for the crime by wearing a spare nickel samurai costume.
Ah! Then, with the nickel samurai's arm that I saw,
that could have very well been Miss Andrews.
but what about Mr. Ungard?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, he was asleep.
That's right. Then, finding the figurine,
It was well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the fence's logic. Besides which there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either.
What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Unger did it. I can't believe the fence would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else. Unbelievable. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on.
Order! All disrupted parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear?
He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to Ungard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it?
Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare itself with the witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor.
Like, comment, subscribe. Shirako's XTV, and I'm signing out. You got no save point. Come on now.